All right, y'all. Today we're gonna make some pimento cheese. But before we get started, it's time to crack open a beer. Listen, can y'all hear this? Sounds delicious, don't it? All right, so pimento cheese. It's like a quintessential Southern condiment, I guess, side dish. It's been both. It's delicious. Dip crackers in it. Like to put it on top of a burger and melt that cheese on there. In fact, I think that's going to happen later on. I think I'm going to make a Southern cheeseburger with some pimento cheese on it. So let's talk about pimento cheese real quick. First, a lot of people I've been talking to lately say they don't care for it, and they're dumb. I don't know what else to say. They're wrong. They should like it. Maybe a lot of times you ask them, when's the last time you had it? And it's been a million years ago. And I relate that to, they probably had something that wasn't pimento cheese. I don't know. Like, well, I don't like the pimentos in it. Well, everybody likes to dice some pimentos. When you get an olive, what's the first thing you do? You suck the pimento out. Duh. So anyways, diced pimentos go in here. It's cheese, mayonnaise, pimentos. That's basically it. So if you haven't had it in forever, or if you're not from the South and you've never had it, then you should make this and try it. It's fairly cheap to make. It's delicious to dip your crackers into. Like I said, people use this in a lot of stuff. People make just grilled pimento cheese sandwiches, and that's really good. A lot of times they'll do like a grilled cheese sandwich with pimento cheese and sliced tomatoes and grill that up. That's delicious. So we're gonna do pimento cheese. There's a lot of different recipes out there that you can find, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is the best recipe, and it's the most classic. So go find all your people who try to do something different and church it up a little bit too much and ruin it. Southern Living magazine, Southern Living, that's it. That's the classic. My wife and I, we made a lot of pimento cheese. Trying to track down the best recipe, and it comes down to Southern Living's classic recipe. Now, the one thing I did take from Paula Deen was using two different colored cheeses, getting a white and a yellow. That just makes it pretty. It's not necessary, but we like to do it. So what you need is sharp cheddar and extra sharp cheddar, 8 ounces of each. It doesn't matter which color is which. You could get the sharp and white or the extra sharp and white. It doesn't matter. Just sharp, 8 ounces of sharp and 8 ounces of extra sharp. That's the key. The other key is one of these you're going to shred kind of normal, like fat shreds, I guess. And the other one is going to be fine shredded. It doesn't matter which is which either. Just one or the other. So you get a cheese grater and you see the big holes. So let's just say I'm going to take the yellow cheese, I'm going to do the big holes. Then I'm going to turn it to the side with the small holes and do the white. Now this one obviously is going to take a lot longer to do, but the different textures really make it work well. So 8 ounces of white, 8 ounces of yellow cheese, or orange, or you know what I'm saying. And then one of them will be fine and one of them will be thin. Then you're going to do 4 ounces of pimentos. You'll drain these out and put those in. Then, we'll add a little bit of Worcestershire, a little bit of ground pepper. Then a little bit of, did I say Worcestershire sauce? If I did, I did. Anyways, we're going to add that in. But the key ingredient, other thing, is mayonnaise. So mayonnaise, in the South, we use Hellmann's or Duke's. Last couple years I've been on a Duke's kick. Hellmann's out west is called Best Foods, I think. In the South it's bring out the Hellmann's, bring out the best. But the last couple years we've been on a Duke's kick. In Mississippi I know they use Blue Plate, which is pretty good. I like that for tartar sauces and all. But whatever mayonnaise you want to use is fine, as long as you don't use Miracle Whip. I mean, what the hell is Miracle Whip? I'll tell you what it is. It's a communist condiment. It's what Vladimir Putin dips his french fries in, I bet. And we don't use that in the South. Mayonnaise. Real mayonnaise. Like Duke's, not that communist crap Miracle Whip. Don't use that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this pretty close to put together. I'm gonna go ahead and shred the cheese, get everything else together, and then I'll show you how to mix it up real quick, put it in the fridge, and then that's it. It's super simple and easy, but yeah, let's do it. All right, let's go over the ingredients here. Oh, hold on. All right, so here we go. Here's what we got. We're gonna start off with 1.5 cups of mayonnaise, right? That's the base. To that, we're gonna add a teaspoon of grated onion. So all you do is you get an onion and you get a little grater and you run the onion across that until you get a teaspoon of grated onion. You don't want to use any more than that. There's a recipe I found on the side of a Duke's mayonnaise jar one time that had like a 1/4 cup, and I tried it and you couldn't eat it. So just a teaspoon. It's important, but a teaspoon of grated onion, a teaspoon Worcestershire, 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper. You got the 4 ounces of pimentos, then 2 tablespoons of diced jalapeno peppers. Now this is not part of the Southern Living's recipe. It's an addition that we've added because we like it. So that's that. And then you got the finely shredded and the normal shredded, the fat shredded, I guess you could call it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in all of this stuff to the mayonnaise, mix it up real good, then we'll fold in the cheese. So let's do that. All right, so 1.5 cups of mayonnaise. I think I said that, but just in case. We'll add in a teaspoon Worcestershire sauce. We'll add in a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Then a teaspoon of grated onion. 4 ounces of the pimento peppers drained. Then 2 tablespoons of diced jalapenos. Then we grab a spoon here. I don't see the one. There we go. And we just mix this up real good. That looks pretty good, huh? Now we're gonna fold in the cheese after we take a couple sips. All right, there you go. We'll fold in one cheese at a time. So there's that one. It's starting to fold in pretty good. The fine one kind of like disappears in it, huh? Now we'll add in the other cheese. Now you're going to fold this in. Make sure it's really folded in and mixed well. All right, I'm gonna keep mixing this up. Make sure that there's no pockets of the mayonnaise all hanging up by itself. Make sure it's really mixed, and then we'll be back in a sec. All right, look, it's pretty much mixed up good enough. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna transfer this into like a little Tupperware dish and set it in the fridge and let it sit in there for a couple hours and let it set up. And either later on this evening or maybe even tomorrow we'll pull it out and we'll finish it up and see how good it is. Well, I mean, I know how good it is, but you know, do the little taste test for the camera, I guess. So yeah, put this in the fridge and let it sit and set back up. We'll be back after a while. All right, y'all, that's it. So let's see, you can see it. So you can see the pimentos in there. I added the green onions on top just to make it so it wasn't just so orange. You can see the thick. Let's see. You can see the thicker cuts of the orange cheese. The thinner ones kind of melts away, but so that's it. That's the perfect texture, and it's the best. It's the best pimento cheese that you'll get anywhere. This stuff is perfect as a dip. That's what we eat it with most of the time. It's also really good to melt on top of cheeseburgers. Like I said, a grilled pimento cheese sandwich. All types of stuff. And I'm sure I'll be doing a lot of that as the time comes up. But this is it. You should make it. You should make it. I mean, doesn't that just look delicious? Mm-hmm. There's one store brand out there that I think tastes pretty good, that I like all right. But it's not cost effective compared to making this, which is just so much better. It's pretty much Southern Living's Magazine's recipe. I just added jalapenos and changed the 2 colors of cheese. I don't know how it sounds me eating. Probably not a good video, but pimento cheese, that's the recipe, and it's amazing. So y'all try it and let me know what you think. All right, y'all, that's really good. A couple key things about making this is, you know, for aesthetic reasons, that's why I use the 2 colored cheeses, but it's not super necessary. You can just do all orange or yellow cheese, whatever you call it. But the thick shreds and the thin shreds, I think that's key. That's a texture thing, and I think it works out really well. The other thing is the onion. You saw it was like you know, I took the onion, I put it on the, and I just grated it, you know, kind of like a zester, and got, well, I think it was a teaspoon. I don't remember. I said it during the video, but I think it's a teaspoon. It's not very much onion, but it's kind of liquidy. That's enough. I mean, the whole thing, that's plenty. I think it was the side of a Duke's jar. I saw a recipe. It was like a 1/4 cup of onion, and I made that recipe, and we couldn't even eat it. We had to throw the whole thing away. That's all the onion you need. You can taste it in it, especially when you grate it like that. It's perfect. So, if you have a pimento cheese recipe that's not this one, you should make this one. If you don't have one, well, here's your new one. All right, y'all. We'll see ya.